This is where we perform our pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. We can eliminate hereditary diseases such as cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, sickle cell anemia. I mean, the list goes on and on, really.
Wow. Hey, Johnny, you did it.
Right here, buddy.
Ew. I mean, awesome.
Excuse me, doctor, your wife's on the phone. She said it's an emergency.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
You want to see it? Huh? You want to see your kid?
I can see it from here, thanks, yeah.
Dude, take a closer look. It's your kid.
No, come on.
No, come on. You gotta take a
Johnny,
closer
no,
look.
that's close enough, Johnny.
He's beautiful.
Yeah,
Come
I'll trade
on.
you. Catch.
What's that? Oh, shit!
Oh, God.
Fuck, dude, that's somebody's kid.
Well, it's not my fault, A-Rod. You were supposed to catch it.
We're gonna find something to scoop it up.
There's containers over there. Scoop it up with it.
All right.
No, that's not gonna work. You need two of them. You gotta scoop one into the other. Oh, my God!
Oh, my God!
Oh, Jesus!
God! Blinking it in! Oh, my God, it's in my fucking mouth!
Wait, hang on. I gotta post this on Facebook.
No!
Hashtag Grr Mondays.
Oh my God!
Look, I'm so sorry.
I swear to God, it was an accident. We're so sorry.
Well, I guess it's all right. Those are the rejected sickle cell samples.
Ah, you hear that, Johnny? You're covered in rejected black guy sperm. You look like a Kardashian.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Tactical Newbie, the channel where a newbie like me gets into all things tactical. With the funny movie introductions out of the way per usual, like we always do, let's get right into today's video. So today's video, I'm going to be bringing back around the Gucci Gear Loadout segment of videos. For those of you that are not familiar with the Gucci Gear Loadout segment of videos, it's essentially similar to the low budget loadout segment of videos, just of the Gucci Gear variety, essentially providing you a 360-degree review of a specific Gucci Gear loadout that I generally build out on the channel, provide all the price points for all the components on that specific loadout. Generally, with these specific loadout featurettes, it's usually of both a battle belt and a plate carrier. This specific video will just be for the plate carrier alone up to this present point. But with all of that rambling out of the way, essentially all it is the Gucci Gear, like I said, at least loadout variant of the low budget alternative. But with all that out of the way, today's video will be featuring the T-Rex Arms AC1 plate carrier system. Now, full transparency, just want to put this out there because I'm sure I'll get some commenters highlighting this, I'm sure. I am well aware that the T-Rex Arms AC1 is not a full-fledged Gucci plate carrier system. The Gucci terminology, at least across the board, is just kind of a throw-in word to just kind of at least encompass a general, well-established and fairly popular brand name of a specific manufacturer that tends to be marketable, at least across the board, in the tactical arena. So stuff obviously like Ferro Concepts, Cry Precision, T-Rex Arms, Agilite, you name it. I know a couple of these, obviously, brand names can be a little bit controversial, especially in the instance of the T-Rex Arms variety. Again, with everything that happened with Lucas Bodkin, I guess, last year and everything like that. But that still does not stop me, who is a gear reviewer and a gear highlighter. Still not going to stop me from doing overall reviews across the board of some of these controversial products, no matter where they come from. But with all that rambling out of the way, that's kind of the catch-all term for Gucci. I do understand that the T-Rex Arms AC1 is a generally pretty affordable plate carrier system, but the Gucci catch-all name is just encompassing a lot of these familiar brand names and not some of the low-budget offshoots that I tend to feature on the alternative variety of videos. But with all of that rambling out of the way and a little bit of that context at least filled out, I will see you guys on the other side. And with that being said, I hope you enjoy.
Alrighty guys, and away we go. So first, right off the rip, we will take a look at the T-Rex Arms AC1 in M81 Woodland Camo. With the total, at least, setup of this specific loadout, I was kind of generally aiming for a otherwise super slick loadout with max ammo carrying capabilities. The general idea of kind of what I was aiming for was just basically to have a quick and easy throw-on plate carrier system that has the availability to carry up to 12 at least magazines. Realistically, with probably the more ideal function of carry would be probably like 8 or 9, but have the availability to carry up to 12. From here, we'll kind of move into, after the 360-degree review, move into the total price points, and then at the later part of the video, just work into the total price of the entire loadout. The T-Rex Arms AC1 is currently at a discounted price of $162. That's for the front and back plate bags and cummerbund systems. Originally, the original price was $180, but it's in a discontinued markdown price because, at least to the best of my knowledge up to this point, the T-Rex Arms AC1 is currently quote-unquote discontinued, and basically I think when they sell out of their stock, it's pretty much gone for good. From here, we'll kind of provide at least as I did state, a 360-degree review of overall quality and base, just kind of rundown of materials. I'm going to kind of read at least a general spec rundown of the T-Rex Arms AC1. It says pretty much here that the T-Rex Arms AC1 is a minimalist, slick plate carrier designed for high mobility and concealment. It specifically focuses on plate compatibility and low profile weight. With that being said, one of the biggest issues that I think I've noticed with the T-Rex Arms is kind of the overall design. The design for the front and back plate bags is basically kind of carte blanche, or it's kind of designed to set up for specific, I believe Hesco more specifically, at least that's what T-Rex Arms at least generally sells on their website. But specific dimensions of plate carriers, not really giving a lot of wiggle room for at least plate compatibility based on different manufacturers and different sizes, which I will kind of touch on a little bit on the plate sizes overall. Which the downside of this is it kind of creates at least a smaller overall plate bag window, and not a lot of real wiggle room with at least plate size availability, depending on the plates that you are currently running or you're looking to purchase. So when you do, or if you do purchase the T-Rex Arms AC1 or the clone knockoff that I did at least provide a video for on the channel, you definitely want to be highly cognizant of general plate dimensions, thickness, width, height, and all that stuff, because it will kind of matter significantly when it comes to actually matching and mating the at least plate bags to those specific plates. From here, we'll kind of touch a little bit more on plate compatibility. It says the plate carriers themselves are designed and sized to plates, not the person. It says that the AC1, basically the small AC1, has SAPI plate dimensions of 8.75 by 11.75 inches. The shooter or swimmer plate dimensions is 8 by 10, and then the total max thickness that you can fit for the small is 1.2 inches. Now for the medium, you're looking at about 9.5 inches by 12.5 inches for the SAPI plate dimensions. You're looking at about 10 by 12 for shooters and or swimmers cuts, and then 1.2 inch SAPIs with a 0.7 inch max thickness for at least the shooters. And then rolling into the large, which is the specific plate size that I currently got from T-Rex Arms, you're looking at, for the SAPI plate dimensions, 10.25 by 13.25 for, again, the SAPIs, at least in overall dimensions. You're looking at 10 by 12 for the shooter swimmers, and then you're looking at a 1.2 inch max thickness. So that's about across the board, universal is about the 1.2 inch thickness in total. And the big highlight that with all those numbers that I kind of provided is that the T-Rex Arms is at least large plate bag is more along the lines of a medium. So you definitely want to take that into consideration. Now from here, we'll at least run over the physical specifications. It states that the weight dry is approximately 17.05 ounces for the medium configuration. It doesn't really list the large or the small. It says the torso fit for the small is 30 inches to 56 inches for, again, the small. The medium is 32 inches by 58 inches, and then that's for the medium. And then the large is 34 by 60 inches, again, for the large. It says that the placard interface uses a standard 6-inch Swift clip / QASM spacing, at least clips for chest rigs and placard attachments. It has a cummerbund that is 4 inches tall with overall elasticity across the board, and has 6 total cells, 3 per side. Each of the cells, I'll give you a general rundown because the dimensions are variable. They're not exact across the board. You have one cell that's 2.5 inches, optimized for pistol mags, radios, or flashlights. You have the middle cell, that's a 3-inch cell, optimized for 5.56 PMag rifle magazines. And then you have a 4-inch cell at the rear side of the cummerbund that's designed for 308 mags, medical kits, and any of those additional items. From here, we'll kind of now do a rundown of some of the additional items after we kind of at least hammered home on the actual plate carrier system, at least the front and back plate bags. As I did kind of at least touch on a little bit, that this was designed to be a slick and overall minimalist kind of plate carrier setup. So the bells and whistles in addition to the actual plate carrier system within itself are very, very minimal. Obviously, as you can tell, whether or not I decide to build this at least this loadout out further, will really kind of be up in the air. More than likely not. But of course, we'll see. I definitely like to build out my setups across the board. But before we at least move along to some of the additional at least attachments on the plate carrier system, would also like to touch on the fact that the T-Rex Arms AC1 is made of 500D Cordura, and it is of course made in the USA, so take that into consideration if you're looking to at least buy US made. But again, it is from T-Rex Arms, so with the whole Lucas situation, obviously tread lightly depending on where you want to go moving forward. But from here, we will now highlight at least the T-Rex Arms sticky GP pouch. Retail price is $30, obviously plus tax, shipping, and handling, and that does also include the same thing for the at least AC1 plate carrier system. You know, base price, obviously you're gonna have to pay additional shipping, handling, and taxes. The sticky GP pouch is essentially just what it states, a sticky GP pouch. I just basically wanted to provide as small and minimalist as possible, at least a admin style pouch. Doesn't really have any of the bells and whistles, just a standard pouch for me to stow and store a couple needed items across the board, but not too much to where it's just kind of, it's not fully optimized on that slick setup. From here, we will take a look at the at least a Ferro Concepts turnover, which essentially is a at least just a mesh or at least elastic insert that Ferro Concepts sells for at least a lot of their at least placard systems. You could do the hard, at least the hard inserts, and then the elastic mesh inserts. Then from here, I basically have the T-Rex Arms Kiwi Placard, which is $70. Again, obviously both of those with shipping and handling. So basically the general idea, now we kind of reviewed at least the price points for everything here, was to kind of provide a kind of a triple stack setup that could be easily removed and adjusted. The primary stack obviously is the Kiwi Placard. I have that affixed to the plate carrier system. Still can be removed, but less easier than the other two components, obviously because it is at least swift clipped into the plate carrier system. From there, we move out to the at least the Ferro Concepts turnover, and basically that is an easily removable secondary at least run of 3 mag cells. So that way, if I wanted to, I can, you know, obviously, depending on the situation, step up. But then if I didn't want to, I could essentially step down, remove that mag cell, still run the standard 3, and be good to go. Now, it is of that flexible mesh material, which is very, very nice, because even if I still had the turnover affixed to the Kiwi Placard, because of the mesh material and not the hard plastic cells, it allows for collapsibility, which still, if I was, you know, under the pretense, training, running, gunning, whatever, any type of situation like that, with no mags in those cells, they can still, for the most part, collapse down and not take up a crap ton of real estate. Obviously, with mags inserted in them, they do take up quite a bit, because you do have that now double stack of at least 3 and 3 for at least this specific placard setup. And then the piece, at least the piece de la resistance, or at least the final cherry on top, is the sticky GP pouch, again, which is just for general small admin, nothing too crazy. Again, easily removable across the board. Can kind of rip that bad boy off. Can rip off the turnover shingle / insert if I wanted to, and then I could also then slap the sticky GP pouch back on the standard Kiwi Placard. So, like I said, all things considered, about as slick as I could usually offer. But again, the general, at least, direction for this specific loadout was supposed to be for high, at least, ammo carrying. The availability to carry as many, at least, magazines as possible, and still, while still running as slick as possible. Keep in mind that I could still at least tuck in, anything across the board, tourniquets or anything like that. Total price for everything is $288 even, at least, not including shipping and handling and taxes. At least from here, we will provide a 360-degree, at least, fit check of this specific plate carrier system on my body. So at this present moment, just to usually do a full, at least, rundown of my kind of height and dimensions, I'm roughly about 6'1"-ish, give or take, closer to 6'2" on a good day, about 250 pounds, depending, give or take, again, whether or not it's a good day or bad day. Providing, again, with this, a 360-degree review, so that way you can kind of get at least a base template of how the plate carrier fits on my frame, so you can maybe do the necessary adjustments based on your dimensions to see what, at least, size may work best for you. As I did specify earlier in the video, this is a large plate bag and at least plate carrier configuration sold by T-Rex Arms. The medium is definitely, by comparison to other quote-unquote mediums in the market, definitely run smaller, and the small is significantly smaller from that. So essentially, the large that you will be getting from T-Rex Arms, if you decide to go the large route, is essentially, by my direct comparison, would be at least dimension size, at least overall dimensionality, would be sized for more likely a medium, and then a medium's like a small, and then a small is like almost like an extra small, at least based on comfort and availability and stuff like that. At least running the plate carrier overall, like I said, at least with the large plate bags themselves, tend to at least fit my frame fairly well, at least across the board. Do have kind of at least a couple peak points at least on the sides, but generally fairly comfortable, at least across the board. Now, I currently do have foam backers in this specific plate carrier setup, so no actual hard plates at this present moment, but overall comfort, I think, is not really an issue, at least in the interim. Obviously, time will tell through use and abuse how comfortable at least this plate carrier would be across the board. Definitely do like the M81 Woodland color scheme. I do like how it kind of throws off with the offshoot of the Coyote Brown, and kind of creating this kind of conflicting two-tier color system that kind of really just pops and stands out. It was one of the main reasons why I did want to buy this specific plate carrier system. When I saw at least the M81, at least online, I was like, damn, that thing kind of pops. It looks kind of cool, and decided to purchase it, even, with all of the Lucas Bodkin controversy and everything like that. So at least stylistically, it is pretty cool, at least across the board. Obviously, it did provide kind of a mock overview of how I can kind of scale up or scale down at least the placard system based on need and availability. Obviously, do also have the availability at the Cumberbund system to carry more additional mags. But for the most part, it's just been a video of me rambling, because there isn't a lot of bells and whistles to this specific plate carrier setup. Like I said, the design was about as slick as possible, but all things considered, that's basically the full rundown.
I hope you liked the video. Of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you think of today's Gucci Gear Loadout video, a part of the Gucci Gear Loadout segment of videos that I do feature on the channel. Just want to highlight some of the same stuff that I generally highlight at the end of every video. I do have a Twitter/X. Feel free to hit the link down in the description down below if you want to follow me there. I also do have a Patreon. Feel free to hit the link down in the description down below as well if you want to contribute any sort of patronage to the Tactical Newbie channel. Keep in mind that all the products that I do feature on the Tactical Newbie channel are 100% self-funded by myself and my real job. Not sponsored by any sort of companies to at least shill any of these products. This is all stuff that I am generally into and stuff that I generally like to highlight for myself. And if anything, it's also to provide you, the viewer, at least some sort of general semblance of whatever information I can provide with the product in hand, coming from a tactical newbie like myself. But with all the rambling out of the way, I will see you guys next week.